I've been wandering this fucking wasteland for 2 days now. I swear to all that is holy, there's gonna be another motherfucker ready to kidnap me any minute now. Ow. Where the fuck? Alright, who is it this time? Necrons again? More orcs? Do the Drukhari want a taste of my fine short ass? I'll make you all bleed. No. No. I've already bitched about y'all. My sanity can take absolutely no more. I am not gonna go into y'all, especially given I have yet to get your codex.
We do not require you to explain us to ourselves. We know all of ourselves.
Oh, you really want to bet? Why can't a third of your army use your basic military plans? Why do y'all not know how to adapt previous technologies to modern usages? Why do y'all need a damn blueprint to make anything from my era instead of just figuring out how to reverse engineer?
Your logic is flawed. A tech priest does not.
Shut up! You don't even know how your own fucking titans work.
Of course I do. I have worked with titans.
Okay, explain to me the difference between a titan and a knight.
Titans are machines of war. Require a crew. A knight is a vehicle for a lord.
Yes, but Lord have mercy, no. Alright, this is my subject now. Let's start with knights, since I'm working on making a knight right now. Knights are big boys with big points. Machines of war meant for a single lord to pilot, though some people can hijack them as well. Their story is that they are lord houses who allied themselves with the Imperium to retain autonomy. Essentially, they being oath-bound to arrive to a call to arms every time the Imperial army asks for it. Some ended up falling to chaos for many different reasons. They've got a really interesting story behind them, but we ain't talking about them yet. Some lords are honor-bound to retain autonomy. Some are honor-bound to regain or repent for mistakes made. I'm actually building a Knight Questoris for that sort of story. We can go into a lot more about their story, but each knight is essentially just one family that's kept the knight working and running for centuries. Meanwhile, the Adeptus Mechanicus has to jack off the robots to get their engines to turn over.
Proper rituals are required for any machine spirit to obey requests.
You literally smack a Castellan for asking why. Don't give me that shit. The Knight's AI just thinks you're a fucking bitch like a giant panda in the zoo thinks of its keepers. Now, great thing about Knights, which is also a negative, is that one kit can actually make multiple models for multiple things. For example, my Questoris box can make the Canis Rex, the Paladin, the Crusader, the Warden, and the Errant options. Each one has their own abilities and weapons, but what weapons they have are what they count as. Because of this, you'll want to learn to magnetize. I'm learning. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm learning. You can also grab one box you like 3 or 4 times, and get a full-ass army with one of each unit from that box. Then they got their little guys, the Armigers, which I don't think these things are near as worth as much, given they don't have the Titanic keyword, but having 6 of them on the field might be fun, given they have the battle line keyword. Now, how do they play? Well, with 10th edition, let's just say they're a bit OP. Not near as much as the Eldari, but admittedly GW has always had trouble with the big boys and balancing them. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to explain this well, because they have 4 army rules. Let's get into that. Free Blades just lets them into other armies. This is what most of you will be using them for. It's why I bought my Questoris. Heavy Walker essentially means you can ignore other models that don't have the Titanic keyword, and terrain that is less than 4 inches tall. Bondsman abilities are specifically for the Questoris models, and only applies when the whole army is knights. It lets you give a buff to the armigers within 12 inches, and Code Chivalric lets you choose one of 2 things to do after reading your mission, and when that thing is completed, you get another buff. While it's not complete, you get a different buff. Great, that's the army rules. Most of this is pretty simple stuff, but there's a lot because of how the army works. It's weird. Index detachment is the noble lance. The detachment rules gives all knights in the army a feel no pain 6, which increases to 5+ when you complete the job that we were talking about in the chivalric thing. Enhancements in the army are a lot, because there's 5, each with a different point value from 20 to 40. Revered Knight is 20, and it improves the any friendly knight within 6 inches leadership characteristic by 1, doubled if you're honored. 25 is Mythic Hero, and can only be used on Questoris models with the Bondsman ability. It lets you use your Bondsman ability on 2 models instead of 1. 30 is Banner of Macarius Triumphant. This gives sticky objectives to the knight with it. 35 is Mysterious Guardian. This one is a doozy and kind of hilarious, actually. It gives Deep Strike to the model in question, and lets it just pop out of battle until your reinforcements phase. Imagine putting this on a Forge World Knight. Sarge, the big ass robot just vanished. What do you mean it just vanished? It was bigger than a building. Sarge, it's behind us. And 40 points is Undying Paragon. This just worsens the AP of anything shooting or slapping the bearer by 1. This is hilariously minor, hilariously priced, but honestly not horrible. I just think it's too high of a cost to warrant it. Stratagems are next. 6, like with most attachments, but half of them cost 2 instead of the normal 1. And I'm not gonna get into these at all. There's just too much to discuss with these stratagems, but they're honestly not that bad, really. All in all, a knight is a man in a Gundam coming around to make the Mechanicus feel like they're helping, when in all reality, the knight is stomping on the admechs and not even noticing. A knight is definitely a good addition to any Imperial army, as it can make a great distraction in some cases, or even a great mobile suit tank buster in other cases. Now, admechs. Next time we'll talk about Titans, and you, techie, can shove off.